Now on Nightside, a Washington mother nearly lost her 3-month-old baby to a shooting. Now he'll live the rest of his life with a bullet fragment lodged in his head.
Snow is already piling up on the mountain passes, and it's mixing down into the valleys in spots. It's a weather alert day Saturday in the first alert forecast.
Plus, a Spokane school district program that helps students when most routes fail is now asking for the community's help for one of the most basic needs, food. You're watching 4 News Now Nightside. Thanks for staying up with us. I'm Aaron Luna. Earlier this evening, ABC's 2020 highlighted the story of Lauren McCluskey, a Pullman native who was deceived and killed by her ex-boyfriend during her senior year at the University of Utah. Lauren's murder became a national headline, particularly because of the missed warning signs by law enforcement and the University of Idaho, or Utah. 4 years since that tragedy, and Lauren continues to be remembered and honored every day because of a promise that was made. That promise started with Jill McCluskey, Lauren's mother, whose promise is to listen to someone if they say they're being threatened and believe them. A promise that was formed after the glaring failures by campus police and law enforcement to take action and protect Lauren. It's captivated communities nationwide and is seen in more than 200 universities, including the University of Idaho, where Lauren used to train. Her mom's mission to prevent what happened to Lauren from happening again.
I think there are so many other people like Lauren around all over the country, all over the world. And before this happened, I wasn't personally aware of it. And now I've heard so many stories about this will not happen again, that women have been saved who are in a similar situation.
The McCluskeys have also felt immense support from their communities. The University of Idaho unveiled their new track facility named after Lauren last summer, with a plaque sharing her story and continuing her legacy. Well, for all you runners, walkers, and wheelchair athletes, it's about that time. Bloomsday is on Sunday, May 7th. Today is the early entry deadline for the race. You got about an hour to register. Today's the last day for the $20 to $28 entry fee. It's going to increase to $35 tomorrow. Some other notable Bloomsday dates: April 15th, last day to get a personalized race bib, and May 4th is the last day to snag $35 entry fees. It increases to $50 for race weekend, May 5th and 6th. Well, today is the last day to remove your studded tires in Washington or face a fine of $137. In Idaho, drivers have until April 30th. Well, the wet weather is here, and things are about to get much worse tomorrow. Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker has declared Saturday a weather alert day. Chris, what can you tell us so far?
Well, right now, Snoqualmie Pass and Stevens Pass are snow-covered, and in Snoqualmie, it's chains or all-wheel drive required as conditions are going downhill rapidly. We have snow in progress at Lookout Pass and 4th of July, though things will really start to get bad by tomorrow morning over the Idaho passes. Meanwhile, here's a look at some of the snowfall we're expecting in North Idaho over the passes for travelers heading out for spring break through Sunday night. Up to a foot at Lookout Pass. Not quite as bad at 4th of July, but in the mornings and overnight, those are going to be the worst time to be on these morning passes. By Sunday, up to 18 inches at Snoqualmie, 20 at White, 14 inches at Stevens. Meanwhile, we have just some hit and miss showers in Spokane presently and have had reports of some rain-snow mix in the Coeur d'Alene area. Don't be surprised if you wake up with a little bit of snow on the grassy surfaces at your house, and we have much more wet weather that is going to be moving in here in the next couple of hours. That will pick up to steady precipitation overnight. So we'll wake up tomorrow morning with a rain-snow mix, or perhaps even just snow at your house. It won't be around long because we are warming up to a high of 47 degrees. Chance of some hit and miss showers down in the valleys throughout the day, and wouldn't rule out a rumble of thunder or some graupel. And then there's more snow down in the valleys on the way for Sunday. I'll let you know what to expect in just a few minutes, Aaron.
Thank you, Chris. A program through the Spokane School District that helps students when most routes fail is now asking the community for help for one of the most basic needs, food. New on Nightside, Rania Kaur explains.
This isn't your typical pottery class. Just a few students of Spokane Virtual Learning are here at the Hive.
Students are referred to us through Spokane School District who have experienced exclusionary discipline or have high levels of anxiety walking into the traditional school setting.
They spend 2 days a week learning here and 2 days a week at the gym. The rest of the time, they're online.
So they're still receiving credit through our school, which is Spokane Virtual Learning, and as a branch of Spokane Public Schools as an alternative learning experience option. It's a choice option within Spokane Public Schools.
For Aaron Haddon's two boys, it was an uphill battle until they came to Spokane Virtual Learning.
In 9th grade was the start of when they got suspended for 40 days, and I didn't think we were going to pull out of this, but we 100% have.
With spring break beginning next week, though, there's one thing that instructional coach Dr. Kristen Arnold is nervous about.
There's a lot of uncertainty that they're facing in terms of food insecurity. A lot of students we have moved between homes, and so with that comes a lot of anxiety about where their next meal might be coming from.
Arnold is asking the community for help, stocking a fuel pantry in their classroom with nutritional options.
They're amazing students and they're very resilient, and they deserve a high quality education and access to food security.
In Spokane, Rania Kaur, 4 News Now.
If you would like to help, the link to donate can be found on our website, kxly.com. A new study suggests children worldwide lost out on more than a third of a year's worth of learning when COVID-19 closed schools. Researchers looked at data from 42 studies on learning progress during the pandemic in 15 different countries. The author said students still have not recovered from the setbacks and suggests that school districts take steps to add tutoring and learning time, such as summer school programs or longer school years. It's an effort to get them back on track. The paper was published Monday in the journal Nature Human Behavior. When it comes to higher education, black students have lower 6-year completion rates than any other ethnic group, and that's according to a new study from Gallup and the Lumina Foundation. Researchers point to several factors for the gap, including rising financial costs and more responsibilities outside of school. They also found black students who are in less racially diverse programs are more likely to feel discriminated against and psychologically unsafe. That can lead many students to drop out. The Lumina Foundation says having more people of color in leadership positions at schools would help, suggesting that having people who look like them helps black students feel like they belong and want to finish their education.
Well, it's time to take a quick look at sports because there is a lot of movement around college basketball. Another Gonzaga basketball player will be looking for a new home next season. According to multiple reports, Gonzaga guard Hunter Salas is entering the transfer portal. Salas averaged 4.5 points a game and was one of the key players off the bench for the Bulldogs this season. Salas is a former 5-star recruit who is known for his defense. Salas is now the second Gonzaga player to transfer this week, along with guard Dominic Harris. Eastern Washington Steel Venters is declaring for the NBA draft and also entering the transfer portal. Venters was the Big Sky Player of the Year and led the Eagles to a regular season conference title. Venters led Eastern Washington in scoring at 15 points a game. And when it comes to Gonzaga, we will take a look at what the Bulldogs roster could look like next season. That's coming up later in sports. But for now, live in the studio, Julian Minnesota. 4 News Now Sports.
Julian, thank you. Coming up on Nightside, Pend Oreille County Sheriff's Office. They have a woman who has been unidentified for 40 years. They found her remains in a wooded area near Newport. And a Washington mother nearly lost her 3-month-old baby to a shooting. Now he'll live the rest of his life with a bullet fragment lodged in his head.
Track live radar on the 4 News Now weather app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Mechanics Pride.
Savings at Lazy Boy are exciting enough that we don't need confetti, but why not? Don't worry, I'll clean it up.
The April Fool's Day sale. Great savings throughout the store.
Lazy Boy. Live life comfortably.
One day, I will rock that swimsuit.
Your one day is closer than you think. From fresh meals to one-on-one coaching, Jenny Craig is Weight Loss Made Simple.
Your one day starts today.
Some people say the metaverse will only be virtual. But firefighters entering a burning house will one day save time when lives are on the line. Visualizing a patient's most recent scan will help speed up decision-making in the ER. And while the woolly mammoth is still extinct, that doesn't mean students can't take field trips to visit them. The metaverse may be virtual, but the impact will be real.
I feel safer when you're in the building.
Over 10,000 stars.
History making.
5 U.S. presidents.
The funny man.
Yes. And 20 years of explosive, iconic, heartfelt.
You sure about that?
Jimmy Kimmel Live, weeknights on ABC.
Do you miss those 2020 stimulus checks you received and wish you had some extra money for some new furniture?
Well, at Walker's Furniture, we want to help you out. Boost your savings and get big discounts store-wide with your Walker's Furniture stimulus check. Just visit a Walker's store near you or download your checks online and cash in on the savings. Plus, with no money down, no minimum purchase, and special 5 years financing.
You can get that new furniture you've been wanting and save your cash this week at Walker's.
Monday on Good Morning Northwest, masking up at Washington healthcare facilities will no longer be required. What you need to know about the change.
Plus, spring break plans. Checking with Mark Peterson and his First Alert forecast first Monday morning on Good Morning Northwest.
4 News Now is brought to you by the Furniture Doctors.
Here are 4 things to know about your weather. Rain or snow tonight down in the valleys. Heavy mountain snow will continue through tomorrow morning and beyond. A wet and windy Saturday. Wind gusts up to 35 miles per hour. And snow showers possible on Sunday, off and on throughout the day. Here's what's going on. We're ushering in a much colder air mass, unstable air out here in the Pacific behind this cold front that will be crossing overnight and into tomorrow morning. Behind it, those winds pick up and we'll get less of the steady precipitation that we're going to be seeing overnight and more hit and miss showers. That will continue through the day tomorrow with some breaks. Another pretty good break tomorrow night before the next system comes in Sunday, bringing more snow showers to the region with very cold air aloft. Possibility of some graupel on Sunday as well. Forecast radar, a closer view of the next several hours. Here we are at our current time. We will bring in another wave of more steady precipitation here just in the next couple of hours. Here's 6 o'clock in the morning. A mix of rain and snow around the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene area. Snow in some of the northern valleys with a mix further to the south. Then as we get into the afternoon, we get a big break. Here's 11 o'clock in the morning. Things begin to clear out a little bit, but then the showers return in the afternoon, and that's when we have the chance to see that graupel or perhaps even a rumble of thunder. Your planning forecast. Tomorrow is a weather alert day. Travelers traveling over the mountain passes will be very tricky. Sunday, the chance of snow showers. We've got some cold overnights and then lingering snow showers through the start of next work week. It does look like we have a warming trend starting Wednesday and continuing through next weekend. Some drier weather as well. So hopefully next weekend will be much more outdoorsy one. This one is going to be pretty unpleasant unless you are up in the mountains. Aaron.
Sounds good. Thank you, Chris. Well, a Washington mother nearly lost her 3-month-old baby to a shooting. Now he could live the rest of his life with a bullet fragment lodged in his head. Julie Calhoun reports.
I call him my little man of steel because he reminds me of Superman. He's, kind of bulletproof.
Anna Chase holding her 3-month-old son Leo extra tight as he recovers from being grazed with a stray bullet in the head and arm.
They told me, he's a miracle. He should not be alive. He should not be here.
Last Friday evening, Anna was walking back from a nearby convenience store with a babysitter, watching her 2 small children, Leo and Leah, when her neighbor reportedly fired 23 rifle rounds into her apartment.
My daughter won't even barely eat. She screams during the night. My son gets startled by any loud noise, and you can just see that fear in his face. And it sickens me. It literally sickens me.
40-year-old Ernest Hamilton is charged and pled not guilty in court Monday. In court documents, police say he was making suicidal comments and seemed paranoid. He told officers he believed the neighbors were doing surveillance on him. Investigators found a rifle and magazines in his apartment, something he's not supposed to have as a convicted felon.
I just can't imagine how someone could wake up one day and choose to shoot someone's apartment when they very much well know there was children inside.
Leo was in his swing when he was hit. A bullet fragment still in his head that may have to stay there.
They told me that he might not be able to do a lot of normal things that the kid could. He's gonna have to be extra careful with, any head injuries. Like if he would be hit in the head or a ball hit his head, it could very much well kill him.
The 3-month-old has a long road ahead of him. He'll have to see a neurosurgeon for 3 years and possibly have to have physical and speech therapy.
I just want it to be over. I just want him to be okay. And I know he is okay, but there's so much still in play. We don't know anything until he's older. This is something I wish nothing on anybody. No one's child should ever have to experience this. Pick you up. I know.
In Lakewood, Julie Calhoun.
He's just so happy.
King 5 News.
Yeah.
All 8 East Valley schools were closed today because of online threats made against the LGBTQ+ community. 2 East Valley students were arrested and charged with felony threats to bomb or injure property. Several arrests have been made today. More are expected. The superintendent making it clear the students involved will be expelled immediately. According to the Spokane County Sheriff's Office, the threats being made included statements and depictions of firearms. They were made in a Snapchat group chat. They tell us the threats were made towards students who support the LGBTQ+ community and International Transgender Day of Visibility. That's today. No victims were named, but threats of harm were also made against students who identify as LGBTQ+. 2 students were booked into juvenile detention today. A third suspect was also identified, but they have not made contact with that person because they are out of town. According to the Sheriff's Office, the threats don't meet the criteria of hate crimes because potential victims were not aware of them. The Post Falls and Coeur d'Alene Heritage Health Clinics closed early today because of threats made to a staff member. Police say an older man walked into one of the Heritage Health Coeur d'Alene clinics, sought treatment, made a concerning statement to a staff member about another employee. The man later left the clinic. Police determined no crime had been committed. Because they were worried, and out of abundance of caution, they closed the clinics early. Well, mourners gathered today to remember Evelyn Dickhouse, one of 3 9-year-old students killed this week at Nashville's Covenant Christian Elementary School. Her family calling Evelyn a shining light in this world. This latest mass shooting in the country sparking protests at the Tennessee state capitol. Hundreds of parents and their children demanding stricter gun control laws.
I've grown up all my life being scared of getting shot in school.
Republican lawmakers in Tennessee this week delayed hearings on gun legislation that would expand access to firearms. The Covenant shooter was armed with 2 assault-style rifles and a handgun, which the shooter had legally purchased in recent years. The Pend Oreille County Sheriff's Office says it's identified a woman more than 40 years after her remains were discovered in the woods near Newport. Detectives say a human skull was found by hunters in November of 1982. For years, the skull sat in a box until a new undersheriff found it in 1999 and reopened the case. Last fall, the Pend Oreille Sheriff's Office joined Spokane County in working with Othram, the same DNA company who identified Ruth Waymeyer and Candy Rogers as killer. Using forensic-grade genome sequencing, experts lifted DNA from the skull and matched it to the woman's great-granddaughter. Well, family said Mildred Huberts disappeared from the St. Ignatius, Montana area back in 1968. She was 59 years old at the time. The circumstances surrounding Hubert's disappearance remain a mystery. Her cause of death, not known, and investigators hope someone who knew who she was can help in this case. To read more about the journey to discover Hubert's identity, check out this story. It's on our website, KXLY.com. You've probably heard of sleep conditions like insomnia and narcolepsy, but there's a less common malady that could have similar symptoms. That's next on Nightside.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
Do you miss those 2020 stimulus checks you received and wish you had some extra money for some new furniture?
Well, at Walker's Furniture, we want to help you out. Boost your savings and get big discounts store-wide with your Walker's Furniture stimulus check. Just visit a Walker's store near you or download your checks online and cash in on the savings. Plus, with no money down, no minimum purchase, and special 5 years financing.
You can get that new furniture you've been wanting and save your cash this week at Walker's.
Monday on Good Morning Northwest, masking up at Washington healthcare facilities will no longer be required. What you need to know about the change.
Plus, spring break plans. Checking with Mark Peterson and his First Alert forecast first Monday morning on Good Morning Northwest. You've heard from politicians and business owners about crime in downtown Spokane, but what's the reality? I'm Derek Dice with 4 News Now, and I hit the streets with Spokane police to find out. People want to feel safe when they're going downtown. What's really happening? What police can and can't do about it? And the one thing they say is to blame for downtown's biggest problem.
You talk to anybody from anywhere, they know that's the issue.
How big of a problem do you think it is? Watch my special report Tuesday on 4 News Now at 6.
Get Buick luxury and style with the dynamic 2022 Buick Encore, featuring premium LED lighting, game-changing cargo space, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, advanced safety technologies, and more. Make the Encore yours and lease it for just $287 a month. Visit us online at Gee Buick GMC or come see us for a test drive. We're just off I-90 at George Gee Buick GMC, the top volume GMC Buick dealer in Washington State.
Do you miss those 2020 stimulus checks?
Well, at Walker's, we want to help you out. Boost your savings this week with your Walker's Furniture Stimulus Check. Just visit a Walker's store near you or download your checks online.
And save your cash.
4 News Now is brought to you by BECU, supporting partners with families.
Thanks for staying up with Nightside. Take a look at this tornado making its way through Little Rock, Arkansas. Here's a look at some of the damage left behind. You can see the tornado brought down parts of the roof of a shopping center, damaging homes, uprooting a large number of trees. At least 24 people have been hospitalized. No fatalities reported so far. The National Weather Service called the tornado catastrophic and had to send its North Little Rock staff into a tornado shelter. Little Rock was just one of many major cities at risk of getting hit by a strong tornado. Other cities included Memphis and St. Louis.
Well, we're running out of chances to ski, not because we're running out of snow, just time in the ski season. Look out past. All of our ski reports are from before the snow is hit. You can expect brand new snow waiting for you if you head up to the ski areas tomorrow. I will tell you that it is going to be a little bit breezy tomorrow on the slope. Schweitzer's got all kinds of fun things planned tomorrow for their spring swing, and then they're only open one more day for season pass holder appreciation next Saturday. 49, they are extending the year because there's still so much snow to be had, 129 inches at the peak. Mount Spokane, 2 more weekends and they are done. I believe that is also true for Silver Mountain. Snow in the mountains and some snow down in town. Here's our latest computer model forecast on how much snow to expect by Sunday morning, 6 a.m. Less than an inch in most valley locations. Kellogg and Pullman, the exceptions. By the time we're into Sunday night with more snow showers, a little over an inch in Sandpoint and St. Mary's, possibly over 2 in Pullman and Kellogg. Of course, this does not account for any melting that we might encounter through the day too, since we are warming up into the 40s. Pick of the night tonight. I get a lot of sunsets, not as many sunrises, and this one is spectacular. John Griffin shared this stunning photo through the Kootenai River Valley. This is not far from the National Wildlife Refuge up there by Bonner's Ferry, and just, oh my goodness, that's such a pretty area anyway. And John just captured it beautifully, the colors on that sunrise. That's what we miss, Aaron, working the night shift.
Yeah, well, we have a little trade-off. Some of the sunsets look like that.
That is true, yes.
Thanks, Chris. You've probably heard of sleep conditions like insomnia and narcolepsy, but there's a less common malady. It isn't talked about as much. It's called idiopathic hypersomnia. A person suffering from it is extremely tired during the day despite getting enough sleep. It can make a person feel like no amount of sleep is ever enough. Idiopathic hypersomnia can take its toll on all aspects of your life, causing social isolation, depression, health problems. Experts say the first thing to do is simply make sure a person's getting enough sleep and that it's at an appropriate time. The next step, seeing if other sleep disorders like restless leg syndrome or sleep apnea are at play. Medication can also help manage the sleepiness. Coming up, what Gonzaga's roster could look like following the departures of multiple players this week. That's in sports. Next.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app. The 4 News Now First Alert Weather app. Download or update it today.
So, what do you do?
I'm a criminal.
My
family, we target people who deserve it. These guys are DC's dirtiest.
And they think we're the crooks.
There's no way she'd stick around if she knew the truth.
What did you say you do again?
Do you miss those 2020 stimulus checks?
Well, at Walker's, we want to help you out. Boost your savings this week with your Walker's Furniture Stimulus Check. Just visit a Walker's store near you or download your checks online.
And save your cash.
At Washington Trust Bank, can't is a four-letter word.
I think I'll sell my veggies at the market.
You even remember to water the house plants.
I do this? You can do this.
Hey, we need to build a home office. We're adding another bathroom.
I think I'll study programming.
Bro, you even connect your phone to Bluetooth.
We believe you can do whatever you set your mind to, and we'll help you get there. Washington Trust Bank, privately owned, locally invested.
Look at this baseball field and this one. How about this one? Which one is next for a 4 News Now Extreme Team Diamonds and Dreams makeover? How about yours? Go to KXLY.com and tell us why your field deserves a makeover. Diamonds and Dreams brought to you by your hometown Chevy dealers and Horizon Credit Union.
At Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries, you'll find solutions in sizes from chairs to love seats to sofas to sectionals. So you'll have a well-designed family room no matter what size your family is. Announcing the Lazy Boy April Fool's Sale. Get 27% off. No joke, 27% off. Plus, you'll get 0% interest financing for 36 months. Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries. Live life comfortably.
One of Gonzaga's most important players is looking for a new place to play. Welcome into sports. I'm Julian Minnesone. According to multiple reports, Gonzaga guard Hunter Salas is entering the transfer portal. Salas averaged 4.5 points a game and was one of the key players off the bench for the Bulldogs this season. Salas is a former 5-star recruit who is known for his defense. Salas is now the second Gonzaga player to transfer this week, along with guard Dominic Harris. Now, along with Salas and Harris, Drew Timme and Rajier Bolton will not return next season. Timme said before the NCAA tournament that he is moving on from Gonzaga. Bolton finished up his final year of eligibility. Anton Watson and Malachi Smith could return for one more season, but have not made a decision just yet. Also in the undecided category is Julian Strother. Strother could try his luck in the NBA. Strother is a projected first-round draft pick. Eastern Washington's Steel Venters is declaring for the NBA draft and also entering the transfer portal. That means if he doesn't think he's going to make an NBA roster, he'll come back to school, just not at Eastern. Venters was the Big Sky Player of the Year and led the Eagles to a regular season conference title. He also led Eastern Washington in scoring at 15 points a game. Opening night brought the fireworks in Seattle. The Mariners won in dramatic fashion, as they normally do, but doing that 2 games in a row against the pesky Cleveland Guardians would not be easy. Mariners, Guardians, Game 2 between the two teams. They're the 4-game series at T-Mobile Park. Seattle trailing in the 3rd inning. Cal Raleigh delivers with runners on base. This will tie the game right here. Momentum swinging towards Seattle. The crowd gets into it, but the Mariners pitching staff had no answer for Guardians left fielder Stephen Kwan. Kwan gets it right here, pokes it into left field. It stays fair over the third baseman's head, and a pair of runs will score as Cleveland retakes the lead on the big-time hit from Kwan. Now, in the very next inning, it's more Kwan. This time, runners on base for the Guardians again. It's Kwan again, and this time, Kwan will deliver again into left field. Kwan had 5 RBIs on the night, a huge night for him, and it was all Guardians after that. Mariners fall 9-4. These two teams are back at it tomorrow. First pitch is scheduled for 6:40 p.m. Gonzaga baseball going for the series win against BYU earlier this evening, and things got to a rough start in this one, though. In the first inning, Tate Gamble takes the freshman Matthew Mueller yard, and the Cougars open up the game with a quick 1-0 lead. But back come the Bulldogs. Brock Bozette will get this ball, drop it into shallow left field. Brian Calmer will come home to help tie the game up right here. Then in the very next inning, Grayson Sterling shows the opposite way power down the left field line. Another run scores, and the Zags are up for the first time in this game. Couple batters later, the pitch will get away right here from the BYU catcher, and Sterling is going to walk in home. Easiest run he'll score all night to extend the lead, but the scoring would stop soon thereafter. And BYU, they made a comeback to take this game 6-5. Gonzaga can still take the series win with a victory tomorrow afternoon. Washington State baseball hosting a 3-game series against number 12 UCLA. Second inning, Cougars trailing by a run. Jake Harvey fights one off into the outfield. Both runners will come across the score. Washington State takes the lead. Now to the 5th inning we go. Cougars already up 9-3 at this point. UCLA's Darius Perry on to bat, and check this out. Flexes the muscle, goes out of the ballpark opposite way. That's tough to do, and that cuts Washington State's lead down to 4. 7th inning we go. UCLA with the bases loaded. They can tie the game with one swing of the bat, but Cam Liss makes them miss. Gets out of the jam right there. Cougars win 9-5. Game 2 of the series is 4 o'clock tomorrow. And that'll wrap us up for sports.
Julian, thank you. The governing body of World Athletics announced last week it would be prohibiting athletes who have gone through what it called male puberty from participating in female world ranking competitions. One of those athletes is Cisa Teffler, an American 400-meter hurdler who became the first out transgender athlete to win an NCAA title in 2019. She shared her thoughts after she heard the news.
The immediate go-to was that my life is over. Everything that I've worked blood, sweat, and tears for has just gone down the drain just like that. We never thought that a leading international federation would just choose to exclude and demonize a group of athletes and then make it seem as though that it's fair and just when it's not. It's blatant discrimination.
World Athletics did say that another consultation will take place and a panel, including a transgender athlete, would be established. Teffler says she would absolutely be part of that panel.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app. At 4 News Now, we believe you should expect more from local news. Our team is committed to a community conversation and bringing you information you need when and where you need it. Numerica believes in and supports that mission.
If your checking account isn't earning you money, it's time to switch to bonus checking from Numerica. The account that earns an incredible 2% annual percentage yield. That could earn you up to $500 every year or more.
Do you miss those 2020 stimulus checks you received and wish you had some extra money for some new furniture?
Well, at Walker's Furniture, we want to help you out. Boost your savings and get big discounts store-wide with your Walker's Furniture stimulus check. Just visit a Walker's store near you or download your checks online and cash in on the savings. Plus, with no money down, no minimum purchase, and special 5 years financing.
You can get that new furniture you've been wanting and save your cash this week at Walker's.
Spokane and North Idaho's country leader.
It goes like one margarita.
Bluebird in my heart. Baby, you're playing hard to forget. The big 99.9 Coyote Country.
What did you find when you lost the weight?
I found my smile.
I found I could eat, really eat. Jenny just makes it simple. Simple.
Learn how to get a free week of food with purchase. Jenny Craig, lose the weight. Find yourself.
The stage is set, a Hollywood week like you've never seen before.
Incredible. Sunday and Monday, the 2-night event begins. Your favorite Idol legends return to mentor.
This is going to be fun.
And the performances, wow.
I surrender.
But one hopeful leaves everyone stunned.
Does that mean that you have decided to leave the competition?
American Idol, new Sunday and Monday on ABC and stream on Hulu.
See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now.
We'll get some breaks through the weekend, but I think the overall theme is cool, windy, and wet with occasional snow mixing in with the rain.
Well, a little last hurrah. Okay with it. Check this out. 106-year-old Huang Odd Oud, I should say, is a traditional tattoo artist from a mountain village in the Philippines, and now she's on the cover of Vogue. She is the oldest person ever to appear on a Vogue cover. She learned her art from her father.
Oh, wow.
Pretty cool. She has some tattoos that remind me of yours.
Oh, yeah, my sleeve. Totally.
Really?
You think he's joking, but you should see his back.